G'day legends, g'day. I just want to shout out a legend on YouTube called Barry Stepp, S-T-E-P-P, oh Bazza. Check this video out he found, and what is really cool is what he says after this, mate. Very touching, very real. It's in your face all the fucking time. Let's roll.
I wanted to do this to show everybody exactly what I be talking about. Look at the human race. Just look at everybody, man. We all just trapped in this little phone, bro. Nobody looking up no more. Necks hurt. It's sad what we've come to. We used to really be humans. Now look at us. Robots. Just stuck. We don't want to do nothing no more but look in this phone. He way in the corner by the trash cans at Waffle House looking in his phone. Barbershop. Kids. Parents. Stuck. Another person. Look at this. Like where we go wrong at, y'all? Where did we go wrong? Restaurants, Food Line, McDonald's. Where do we go wrong, man? We need to make this viral. We need to get this out. We need to show each other what we look like. We can't even work out no more. Look, at the job sites, everywhere. Don't even pay our kids no more attention. Just stuck. He won't even move. He don't even know a car coming. I'm surprised she know how to walk. Look at this, in the middle of the whole intersection. Just, come on, man. Y'all see what's going on and it's sad. Send this to somebody and tell them to pick their head up. We've lost ourselves. And it's sad.
Last night, my wife and I took our children to go eat at the Hibachi Grill to eat sushi. While we were there, something occurred to me. We used to be one of those families that would go in and sit down and pull out our phones and start checking our social media while we were waiting on our food to be brought to the table or while we're waiting on the waiter to come over and take our food order. About 2 years ago, I noticed that that's what everyone does when they go into a restaurant. And one day, I just happened to look over at the table beside us and I saw a family that was equally the size of ours, a couple who had like 4 or 5 kids. I've got 4 myself. And I saw that the dad was on his phone, the mom was on her phone, the youngest child that they had with them was on an iPad, and all of their older kids who look like they're roughly between the ages of 10 and 17, every one of them was on a phone. And I don't know what it was that drew my attention to this, but something about it just didn't sit right with me. I looked over and I saw this and I felt myself judging these parents. And then it occurred to me that I was holding my phone. My wife was looking at her phone. And all of my kids, because they didn't have phones at the time, because I don't agree with giving a phone to a child, they were all sitting there bored out of their mind. From that point on, we made it a point that when we go to a restaurant to have a meal together as a family, or even if it's just my wife and I going out to enjoy lunch together, the cell phones stay in the car or in your pocket. But going back to the specific situation that we experienced last night, it just suddenly occurred to me that the last year or so, and I can only attribute it to our lack of cell phone use because I still see this being an issue all around me when we go out to eat. But some of these sit-down meals that I have with my wife and kids are some of the most enjoyable experiences that I have. And I'm not saying that our meal last night was bad. This isn't like the reason that this occurred to me last night. I had some soup, some salad, and 2 lobster rolls, and it was absolutely phenomenal. We have a really good sushi place. But it occurred to me last night that multiple times throughout the past 12 months or so, we've gone to a restaurant and had just a horrible experience at that restaurant. The food was bad, the service was bad, and then on top of that, the atmosphere of the place was subpar. We've done quite a bit of traveling mainly here locally, trying out new restaurants and stuff around the area, and I've honestly had some very pathetic excuses for a meal. But I can't remember one time since we've made that no phone rule that we've gone to have a meal together as a family and not still walked away enjoying the experience. I think people just don't realize what they're missing out on by sticking their face in that phone all the time. And I've got issues with it myself. I am by no means saying that I'm better than anyone else. Granted, I do have to look at content like this because of making these videos. I do probably 30 or 40% of that looking for video content on my phone and the rest on my actual computer. But since we've made that rule, I've noticed this is whenever I get to know, like, the deep thoughts that my son has. These are the moments that I hear about the issues that my youngest daughter is having with some of her friends at school, and I'm able to give her advice that could help her. Advice that she seemingly desperately needs. Advice that she would have missed out on if I was sitting there looking at Facebook. And I've now got a daughter who is 18 years old and moved out of the house. It feels like it was just a couple of years ago that I was broke, living in a 2-bedroom rental, working a miserable factory job, and coming home and sitting up all night with her because she had colic. And I would have to sit on the couch with her and sit her in my lap and fold my fingers together over her belly and hold her in place so that she could fall asleep. And she would literally slump over my arms like this and pass out on me. But I know I've been warned a million times that the time you have with your children is just going to disappear. That you're just going to look up one day and they're adults. They're gone. They're off to start their own life. And I am so fortunate that while I have one 18-year-old daughter, I also have a 6-year-old son, and that I've realized just how quickly that time passes while he's still 6 years old. Life goes by so fast, and everyone's just wasting it. It's heartbreaking to see. And I want you all to know I am so unbelievably grateful for every view that I get on these videos. I'm grateful for every comment. I'm grateful for every like. I can be having a terrible day, and just reading comments on my latest video for 5 minutes will completely turn it around. I don't know how I accidentally created one of the most positive comment sections on the entirety of YouTube, but I genuinely feel like somehow I ended up with that. But that being said, if it would mean that all of my views would go away overnight for everyone to start putting their phone down for half an hour and start paying attention to life, I would make that trade-off. And I'm not gonna lie, it would be devastating at first. I love making this content and I love sharing stuff with people, but it genuinely breaks my heart to see so many people just sticking their face in their phone and missing so much around them. We have one life. We are definitely, undoubtedly here for a very important reason. And we have one chance to get it right. And I don't want anyone to be 80 years old looking back at their life and think, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. I wish I would have paid more attention to how beautiful my wife was when she was young. I wish I had a better permanent memory of her young, youthful face burned into my mind. I wish I had spent more time playing board games with my children after dinner at night. I hate the idea that I could be part of that problem. That someone who's in their late 80s and looking back at life and all of the things they missed because they were staring at their phone. I hate the thought that I could be one of the reasons that they missed so much. But that's the reason that I try to be so diligent about making sure that I put good quality content in here that's things that I feel like people genuinely need to be aware of. My videos range from 25 to 35 minutes long, and I know that there are people who watch every single day. I talk to them in the comments all the time. So if you're going to watch some of my content, I'm going to make sure that you're not wasting your time. I'm going to do my best to make sure that it was worth that 25 to 35 minutes. And I didn't mean to get up on a soapbox there. Simple change. When you go have dinner with your family at a restaurant, and keep in mind, with the way things are headed, that might not even be a thing in half a decade. But when you go have dinner with your family at a restaurant, I cannot suggest enough to keep your phone in your pocket or keep your phone in the car and remember those meals. Soak them in. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. It has significantly added to my quality of life. It has significantly added to my enjoyment of my family. And when you step back from life and look at the big picture, just trying to squeeze out as much enjoyable moments as possible, it's one of the few things that we actually have control over. And it's one of the most important things. And anyone who's watching this video right now, I want you to have the same amazing experience in your life as I feel like I'm having. You all have given that to me. And if there's even the slightest possibility that just from offering some advice, I can give some of that same enjoyment back to you all, I'm going to take the opportunity to try to do that. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. Thank you tremendously.
Wise, very wise words from Brother Barry Stepp there, ladies and gentlemen. Wishing you well. Peace, mates. And cheers. Shout out Barry Stepp. Be sure to check him out. I'll leave a description in the below. Wishing you well.